Hello, my name is Candace Stutko, and I'm the Chief Inspiration Officer for Every Run Do Good. And I'm here to talk to you today about the benefits of signing up for a virtual race. They've become ever more popular this year in light of the COVID pandemic. And this probably has some mixed reviews from people, and I believe there are definitely some great benefits to it, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. Number one, I feel like they are a great opportunity for people who might be struggling with their desire to work out. People, naturally everybody may have, ebbs and flows with their motivation to train. And it may be just that one thing, signing up for something and having that goal in the distance that provides some extra motivation for them to want to get in their daily workout or however often it is that they train. Also gives you something to work towards. Personally, I'm often signed up for something in the distance. Sometimes it might be 6 months out, 12 months out, and it gives me something to be working towards and something to be thinking about when I'm training often. But talking about having those goals, I go back to thinking about SMART goals, thinking of the letters SMART, with S being specific. So for today's example, we'll say running a 5K. So my goal will be specific in that I want to run a 5K. Making with M is measurable, perhaps you've set a goal for yourself within that 5K. Maybe I want to be able to do it in 36 minutes or less, or perhaps I want to be able to run one of those miles without stopping. Whatever it is, having something measurable that you're working towards instead of just saying, I just want to go do a 5K. Also making that goal being something achievable. Now, you don't want to set the bar so low that you don't really have to try. Try to do something that is going to challenge yourself. There's so many benefits outside of fitness and health in challenging yourself that once you find you can rise to accomplish these challenges, you're going to see a difference in your everyday life elsewhere as well. R, being realistic or relevant. So you don't want to start off with a 45-minute 5K time and say, hey, I'd love for it to be 30 minutes. Like, that's a big difference. So perhaps starting within something more, again, challenging yourself, but more reasonable. Say, I'd love to knock a minute off my average pace, or maybe I want to go from 45 minutes to maybe even 40 minutes or 42. Like, be proud of any accomplishment that you make towards, improvement there. But also time bound. Signing up for something puts that date on your goal. It's one thing to throw it out there into the universe and say, I'd love to run a 5K, but really once you sign up for something, it really puts that date on it. Like, okay, I'm working toward this in this certain amount of time. So again, sign up for something, whether it be 6 months or 6 weeks out, 12 weeks out, whatever it is for you. I know back in 2016, I ran my first half marathon, and I had signed up for my first one in April. I can't remember when I signed up for it. But even before I had ran my first one, I signed up for my second one because knowing myself, I probably would have quit running if I didn't have something that I was working towards. So again, even before I ran my first one in April, I was already planning to run another in June. We're all going to find our different things that help keep us motivated. But even getting down to virtual races, as I mentioned in the beginning, people have felt differently about these. Some people have really wanted to do them, and some people are kind of like adamantly against them. And I would say up until this year, this was my first experience with them as well. And I think it's because many people have somewhat become reliant on the reinforcement from the crowd, or the atmosphere that's present at a race to help them, push themselves. And that's wonderful and all, and sure, like nothing, is going to replace that great atmosphere that you get from the crowd in those circumstances. But I encourage people to do something virtual, and it's because it's something that I've really experienced this year and had a great time with, because it encourages you to just do better than even your personal best. Because oftentimes it's not about beating others, it's about just doing better than maybe you've done in the past. And something I've come to really learn about a lot recently is, and there's a great phrase out there, a great quote that says, comparison is the thief of joy. Don't look at somebody who races and, or perhaps, maybe you're doing your own race and you think, well, so-and-so is faster than me. Don't worry about if so-and-so is faster than you. Focus on being faster than your best, and be proud of that. So I know in a recent conversation, I have an upcoming strongman competition, and a girl is also going to be doing that. And she had talked about, well, what's a good weight to be doing for that category? And I said, just do what's, just focus on what's better for you. And at times I'll practice an event in training. And let's say if it's max reps for a minute and in training I get 14, that on competition day I get 16, then I'm proud because I beat my personal best. So the same token, when you're out running, like, don't worry about those who are faster than you. Think about how you did compared to your personal best. And also too, doing a virtual run helps you not become dependent on that external motivation to accomplish your goals. I think that's something that we see a lot in society today, in that people don't always feel motivated to push towards different things because they don't have somebody else cheering them on towards that. It really helps you focus on just pushing yourself. And I'd even say, as an example, go for a run without music. Can you push yourself when maybe all that you're hearing is you're breathing heavy and you're in your own head with your own thoughts? Like, can you push yourself in those circumstances? Now, we all know that races will come back at some point, and they are starting to happen, and that's wonderful. But when you're able to push yourself in those circumstances where all you have to do is hold yourself accountable to you, you're going to do amazing then. And then when competition day comes, or you're actually doing an in-person race again, you're going to crush it all the more because you've built that mental strength in other circumstances. And again, I talked about, like, this was my first year doing a virtual race. And I think I didn't go into it expecting to have to feel about it how I do feel about it now. My first virtual experience was doing a 100-mile ultra marathon. I had done it last year and made it 80 miles. And I knew I wanted to complete the whole thing. So I went back and I signed up for it as soon as the entries opened, and I signed up for that 100 miles. And yes, I felt that same disappointment as many people had when they see that their races are canceled. And I can tell you what, it honestly was one of the most amazing life experiences to do it. Because yes, I could have traveled and I would have had some support, but nothing was like the support that I had and I was able to create in doing my own virtual race here, just not even 5 miles away from where I live. Just the people that I was able to surround myself with to accomplish that goal could never be replaced by having done that race in the actual location. So again, one of the best virtual experiences I've ever had. And then also this past July, I had done also a virtual race series to support a local organization. And one of those involved a weekend where I did a marathon on Saturday and a half marathon on Sunday. And again, was striving to achieve personal bests in each of those. Now for the marathon and the half marathon, I did not have anybody running with me. It was myself out there by myself. Again, running with no music. Number one being for safety reasons. I was doing running on the road and I wanted to know what was going on around me. But it was just a great experience. And I intend to make another video about that, about pushing yourself towards a goal when, again, nobody out there is really cheering you on or pushing you towards that goal. And it's really you yourself just trying to do your own personal best. And lastly, a lot of nonprofit organizations today are very challenged by the present circumstances, and they found a lot of great ways to adapt. But a lot of organizations depended on 5Ks or different public events to raise funds for their organization. And unfortunately, that was also impacted by COVID as well. So I formed Every Run Do Good in order to help nonprofit organizations still host virtual runs and raise funds for their organization, and also for runners to make a greater impact on their community, because you were going to run anyway, or even just go for a walk. So why not support a great organization? Most virtual runs have a minimal fee. Most of my races, we charge about $25. And really, we can all be honest with ourselves. We probably waste $25 on any number of things throughout the week. So the least we can do is do $25 and make a difference in our community. Because again, it's really a lot of the small things that we don't realize that these nonprofits do that really make a difference for a lot of people. And also too, small businesses were greatly impacted by COVID as well. And one thing I like to do in my races is to provide gift cards to small businesses as the age group prizes. So again, that not only do we support the nonprofit organization, but then we also go forward and support the small businesses in our community, which also has a greater impact because as we know, small businesses are the backbones of our community, and they also in turn support community organizations within the community. So again, just by again engaging in the healthy activity, going for a walk, going for a run, we're doing way more than just simply going for a walk or for a run. So to tie up and come to a conclusion today, virtual runs a great opportunity to perhaps get you on the road to better health, setting just even a small goal, and maybe every time it gets more, bigger from there. And again, helping you put that timestamp on there, but also just providing that extra little motivation you might need to work towards becoming a healthier you. So if anything, please, I appreciate you watching today. Please give my website a check out. Check out my website at www.everyrundogood.com. Check out upcoming events. Perhaps there's an event there or an organization that you would like to support that means a lot to you. We'd love for you to sign up and again, make a difference beyond than just going for a walk or going for a run. So thank you very much and have a wonderful day.